Hey guys, welcome back to Just Carve Rob. Let's get this carving show started. Have a sip of coffee and here we go. Today we'll be carving a leprechaun head. We're going to be using the OCC knives, the OCCV tool, and some flex cut micro gouges. We're going to be using the 2.5 inch, the 1 3/8 inch, the 1 inch, and the 1/4 inch V gouge, all from OCC, and a V cut gouge from Flex Cut, and a 3mm U gouge from Flex Cut. And that was the 1 3/8 OCC knife. Here's our block of wood. All right. So our block of wood is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches square. It is 4 inches long. You can get these pieces of basswood from Menards, Hobby Lobby, Amazon. Those are a few places where I pick it up at. And since Bap over there in Ireland, I Can Carve, has a leprechaun he talks to for advice, I figured we might as well make a leprechaun head. I don't know if we're going to build him a body yet, but we might. You never know here at Just Carve Rob. So here's some rough dimensions of this basswood that we will be carving. Alrighty, let's start out with the 1 3/8 knife. Seems to be a little bit dull. I know the 2.5 inch knife is sharp, so we'll change over to that. All right, need to zoom this thing out. So what we're doing is we are marking in where our beard will stop, and we're marking in where our ears, the bottom of our ears, are going to be. You come up 5/8 from the bottom for the bottom of the beard, and then we're going to come up 2 3/4 inches for the hat, and then we'll drop the hat back 1/4 inch on the back side. Okay, and that's what we're doing there. We're marking in the hat at the very top, and now we have all that stuff marked in. Let's take some of these corners off. They're hurting my hands, all these sharp edges on here. So we'll trim all them back. And we're running at 2 times the speed here to try shortening this video up a little bit. Ended up being about a 3-hour carve for me, guys. And the camera was on the whole time. But so I got to go through and slim this baby down, shorten this video up a bit. So what we're doing there is we are taking a 2.5 inch knife and we are cutting the bottom rim of the hat in. And then we'll just start chunking off wood up towards the top to get that hat down a little more quickly. And I have the piece of wood resting on the bench, and I'm making that stop cut down on that angle, which drops from 2 3/4 inches down to 2.5 inches. So we got a 1/4 inch drop back on the hat to make the hat look like it's tilted back. Of course, then we'll have to drop the back side of the top of the hat back that 1/4 inch, like that there. Yep. And you can tell how sharp your knife is by how shiny the wood is on the top when you make that cut. If the wood's nice and shiny, you got a good sharp knife. If the wood gets lines or a hazy look to it, your knife is getting dull. Take it to the strop, sharpen her up. All right. I've gone through and I have resharpened the 1 3/8 knife That's about my favorite size. Even though you see me use that 2.5-inch knife a lot, usually that's on wider pieces. The 1 3/8 is probably my favorite size in the OCC knives, especially working with the the smaller pieces of wood, the 1x1 and the 1.5 inch. It has enough reach to get across it. So we're taking down the area. We're on the front side. We're working off a corner for the face. That allows the 4 corners to give us the nose and allows us to give us a spot for the ears. So we're cutting the nose in. And we're kind of using a scoop cut and a stop cut there. We're drawing the center line back in because we got rid of the point. And we're scooping. And now we are coming down on an angle. You can see that I'm holding the knife at about, I don't know, probably a 15-degree angle, maybe a 10-degree angle. And what we're doing there is we're putting the shelf in for the eyes by working both sides of that, and we're angling back towards the nose. We're not cutting back up and in towards the hat. We're cutting down and in towards the nose. And that's going to give us the 2 flat spots for our eyes. And it's going to make like a little cheek there, or a little shelf for the eyes. Okay? And you can see I'm drawing them in there where the eyes are going to be. And we're going to do like cartoon eyes on this guy. We're not going to put realistic eyes on him, because he's a fictional character, whether they be real or they not be real. So we're just going to put kind of cartoon eyes on them. And I'm showing you there the angle that we're cutting down towards the nose and away from the hat on that angle. Okay. And the reason for that is, once we get the cheeks and stuff carved in it, we don't want the eyes to be, well, I don't want the eyes to be angled back. This is just my opinion. You can cut it in any way you want. So now I am cutting the nose in, and I'm cutting away from the nose, or straight. You don't want to cut in when you're cutting your nose in, otherwise you'll undercut your nose. And I don't think that's where we want to be. We want the nose to flare out. So you can see I'm holding the knife on an angle. I'm not cutting straight down. I'm on an angle, and I'm not cutting straight in from the side. Otherwise, I'd be undercutting the nose, okay? So now we're cutting the top of the nose. We're bringing the bridge of the nose in. Now, you can just put a big old ball right there if you want to. And now we're cutting the corners off our nose so we don't have a flat nose. And we're cutting the end off, and we're rounding the point, because that's the original point corner of the wood, guys. We're flattening that off. Now, you can leave yours pointy if you want to. That's up to you. I'm kind of thinking the leprechaun needs like a rounder shaped nose. And then when we separate the eyes, we'll leave a little strip of wood about 1/8 of an inch wide between the eyes to separate our eyes. And we might even put some eyelids on this guy and some eyebrows. And oh yeah, we're going to get right into it. This is going to probably be a 2-part or 3-part video. Okay, you can see we kind of got that hat shaped in. We did a lot of scoop cuts on that. And we're working the nose in deeper. Working that angle of the nose in. And we're using that 1 3/8 knife. Alright. Alright. Yep, this is going to be a long video. Yep, I've seen Doug Linker carving one of these over on his channel. Of course, he's a lot faster than I am. I think he ended up popping his little guy out in about 20 or 30 minutes. I guess he's done it he's carved way more of these little guys than I have. So he's got her nailed. So if you want to see a quicker video, go over and see Doug Linker's. I think he's changed his name to Carving and Crafts, Doug Linker. Was Doug Outdoors one time. So yep, we're just working this nose in here. We're cutting the nostrils in and working those eyes. We're going to keep working, bringing those eyes back and down and back and down, and probably could have went deeper yet with them than what I did. But I decided that's where his eyes were going to be, and that was the end of that story. And there we're working the corner of the nose back and around. We're rounding it over the nostrils of the nose. Cutting up and under, up and under. And using the OCC carving knives. Yeah, I did not use the Dremel at all, or the micro carver on this. Believe me, I was tempted. I probably could have got this whole thing done a lot quicker. All right, so let's move on to the ears. We marked the ears way back in the beginning, and now we're cutting back to the ears, and we're doing a little scoop cut on the ears to try keeping these, bring these ears out to the side of the head. So we'll work on them. We'll get them cut in a little bit deeper, make our cuts down towards the bottom a little deeper, and we're gonna keep removing that wood. And then from the ears to just before the eye, we will put our beard in. So you can see we're making that, using that little scoop cut. And we're having wood grain change issues here. Always on the small spots. You always seem to have where the grain decides to change direction. So you got to go from both directions to get that in. And now we're cutting back up underneath that hat. We're cleaning it up underneath there. We still got to round that brim of that hat over yet. So we got to take a little more wood off the back and the front to get it down where we want it. Yep. And we're running at 2 times the speed here. You can start seeing that beard coming out all on its own there. And now we'll draw it in right there. That's where the bottom of our beard's going to be. And we'll round the barrel of the mouth over, because he's not going to have a mustache. He's just going to have a beard. So I'm marking that in with a knife blade so that we know where the shoulders are going to begin, if we leave them shoulders. If we make this guy a body, we'll just carve them shoulders right off and just leave a pin there. You know, take it down to about a 1/2 inch round pin so we can set the hat on top of the body. But we're not there yet. So right now we're setting the shoulder height. And keep rounding it over, because we don't want our guy to be flat. And we'll just keep working that over and around. And yeah, I'm sitting out here editing this video, undercutting it a little bit there to get the beard to start popping out. And we'll keep working that down. We're going to end up giving them a neck. So we just got to keep on chopping that wood off. And you'll see me use this knife like a pencil. So right now, the way I'm holding it. And then I'll use my thumb to make push cuts. To make that ear stick out, we're cutting her back in. Just making them little scoop cuts there to get that wood out. On both sides, we'll get the ears. Nice thing about doing the ears off a point is you don't got to worry about having one too far back or having one too far forward. We're cutting the forehead back a little bit. And that hat rim has to come down a whole lot more. I guess we could have gave him a shorter hat and made his forehead longer. But that's all up to you, however you want to do it. And I think we're getting pretty close to the end for part 1 of carving a leprechaun out of basswood. And getting his ears, we'll get his ears to stand out. In the next video, we'll get the eyes carved in and all that good stuff. We're going to just do some simple ears. Basically, we're just going to scoop it out and call it good. And then we'll get them all painted up in his green, and we'll give him a nice orange beard. Just keep working on that. It's been a fun little carve. Like anything else, once you carve the first one, the second one should come a whole lot quicker because you got the first one as an example, right? And after the first one, you can do improvements on them to get the second one set up. So we'll just keep scooping that hat out, working on the eyes, get them cut back. You'll find as you're carving these guys, you'll be constantly readjusting. All right, guys. That's it for this one. Share, subscribe, like, check out the links and comments below. And be awesome. Carve something awesome. Carve every day if you can. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Share, subscribe, like. Hit that like button, guys. Really helps out with the algorithm to get our videos out there. And I appreciate it. All right. So, catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.